Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to my lecturer and my fellow friends. So my name is Adriana Christina binti Abdul Samad. I am a representative of my group. So my group in group 2 of my class in 22A. So our group is we represent to about a subject in principles of business analytics, which is we choose a theory of the plant behavior in a halal food. We go to the first part, which is the introduction. So, what is the meaning of halal? Halal is the Arabic word that simply means lawful or permitted, but it generally refers to what's allowed under Islamic law. It is the opposite of haram, which means unlawful or prohibited. So, the purpose of this survey can help to understand how consumers perceive halal food and how they relate to it. For example, a study in Malaysia found that consumers' attitudes towards halal food are significantly related to factors like halal logo labeling, regulatory exposure, and enforcement. The next purpose of the survey can provide insights for brand managers in the halal sector. For example, a study in Malaysia found that brand experience is a significant determinant of brand love, which in turn influences trust, satisfaction, and loyalty.
3.1 Develop 4 items for each of the variables, including demographic variables. The first one is independent variables, IV1, in consumers in halal food. The first is certification, quality, and taste are the most important factor when choosing halal food. The second one is halal certification is very important for most consumers when purchasing food. The third one is many consumers eat halal food daily. And the last one, fresh food and packaging food are the most preferred type of halal products. For IV2 is convenience in halal food. The first one, most consumers purchase halal food from supermarket and restaurant. The second one, finding halal food in their area is somewhat easy for most people. The third one is in-store shopping is preferred for the purchase halal food. And the last one, consumers sometimes find enough variety in halal food product of their preferred shopping locations. Independent variables IV3 communicate in halal food. The first one, social media and packaging labels are the primary source of information about halal food products. The second one, secure labeling, such a halal certificate logo is very important to consumers when choosing halal food. The third one is consumers sometimes trust the halal certificate of brand in their region. The last one, discount and certificate are the most effective marketing strategy for halal food purchase. The next is independent various living statistic with consumer halal food. The first one, I believe consumer halal food contributes to my overall health and well-being. The second one is I feel assured about the cleanliness, healthy standard of halal food. The third one, I feel safe consumer halal food knowing it adheres to strict guidelines. And the last one, I am satisfied with the way halal food is prepared and cooked. The next is demographic variables. The first one is age, gender, religion, background, race, and education level. Standard deviation, mean and maximum value including t-test. Refer in the table based on our data from Google from convert to IBM SSPS statistic. The predictive value range is from 0.888 to 3.273. Follow with an average of 1.363. The low standard deviation, which is 0.4329, show the predictive values do not vary widely from the mean. Next, the residual that is ranged from negative 1.0790 to 1.7277, and the standard deviation is 0.4375. The residual mean is 0 based on the regulation, and the relatively small standard deviation suggests a good model fit. In addition, both standardized value had followed unexpected proprietor, which is mean 0, SD1. Besides, maximum standardizing residual is 3.89966, might indicate the presence of outliers or extreme deviations. Then the means with the standard deviation of IV1, IV2, and IV3 are close in magnitude. indicating and that is in consistent scale and not extreme different among the independent variables. From the table 1, the regression model has performed as expected. The result showing minimal variability and the predict value closely reflection the dependent variables mean.
Okay, so the next part is the normality test, Pearson correlation, and the Crobat alpha. So based on the graph below, the histogram of the regression standardized residuals illustrated that the residuals are centered about 0 and nearly conform to a bell-shaped curve, suggesting they are roughly normal distributed. The alignment of the bars with the overlaid normal curve further substantiates this idea. Minor deviations from the curve are evident but remain within acceptable parameters, indicating that the normal key assumption is adequately fulfilled. The normal p-plot regression standardized residuals compares the observed cumulative probabilities with the expected cumulative probabilities based on a normal distribution. The majority of points align closely with the dotted line, exhibiting minimal variation. This indicates that the residuals follow to a normal distribution. Minor deviations are acceptable and do not signify significant problems. The residuals are approximately normal distributed as exhibited by the histogram and the plot. However, the plot offers a more precise evaluation, whereas the histogram provides a general visual confirmation. The normality assumption for residuals in the regression model is satisfied, as evidenced by the minor deviation observed in the both graphs, which are within acceptable limits. As a result, the model satisfies the necessary assumption for hypothesis testing, and normality is a not concern.
Refers to the table, the percent correlation dV, the amount of dV is 1.000, the amount of IV1 is 0.672, the amount of IV2 is 0.378, the amount of IV3 is 0.537, the percent correlation IV1, the amount of dV is 0.672, the amount of IV1 is 1.00, the amount of IV2 is 0.2621, the amount of IV3 is 0.610, the percent correlation IV2, the amount of dV is 0.378, the amount of IV1 is 0.621, the amount of IV2 is 1.00, the amount of IV3 is 0.641, the percent correlation IV, the amount of dV is 0.537, the amount of IV1 is 0.610, the amount of IV2 is 0.6741, the amount of IV3 is 1.00. Base alpha for independent variable IV1 is 0.756. Converge alpha for independent variables IV2 is 0.714. Independent variables IV3, the converge alpha is 0.765. Converge alpha for dependent variables dV is 0.915.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Adeline Iswahida binti Abdul Rahim, my student ID 240241 and 215. I will explain about regression coefficient and R square. The table summarizes the result of a regression analysis. The model summary shows an R value of 0.703, indicating a strong positive relationship between the predictor IV1, IV2, IV3 and the dependent variable dV. The R square value 0.495 reveals that 49.5% of the variation in dV is explained by the predictor, while the adjusted R square 0.473 accounts for the smallest accuracy after adjusting for the number of predictors. The ANOVA table confirms the model is statistically significant with an F value of 23.170 and a P value less than 0.001, indicating the predictor collectively impact dV. In the coefficient table, IV1B equals 0.722, P less than 0.001, and IV3B equal 0.331, P equal 0.020, significantly influence dV, while IV2 is not statistically significant. P equals 0.125. The variant inflation factor IVIF value are below 10 and tolerance value are above 0.1, suggesting no multicollinearity issues. Overall, the model is significant with IV1 having the strongest impact on DV. Next, multicollinearity. The table should provide the result of collinearity diagnostic for a regression model which assesses multicollinearity among the independent variable IV1, IV2, IV3 with the dependent variable DV. The eigenvalue of the dimension varies significantly, with the first dimension having the highest eigenvalue 3.861 and subsequent dimension having much lower values. This indicates a potential uneven distribution of variance among the predictors. The condition indicates for the dimension such as the level of collinearity. Dimension with a condition index above 10 indicate possible multicollinearity. Dimension 4 shows a high condition index 10.830, which raises concern about multicollinearity in the model. The varying proportion highlight the contribution of its independent variable IV1, IV2, IV3 and the constant of to the dimensions. Dimension 2 has a significant contribution from the constant 0.80 and IV1 0.30, hitting at some share variance. Dimension 3 shows a high proportion for IV2 0.63, while dimension 4 has substantial proportion for IV3 0.96 and IV2 0.36. This distribution suggests multicollinearity might be more prominent in the later dimensions. Then, the explanation regarding the hypothesis testing. In a graph, the normal plot of regression standardized residual for dependent variable DV used to assess the normality of residual in a regression model. That plot compared the observed cumulative probabilities of the residual on the axis X with the expected cumulative probabilities under a normal distribution on the axis Y. This graph shows whether the residual in a regression model follow a normal distribution. The point closely follow the diagonal line with only slight diversions. This indicates that the residual are approximately normal distribute, satisfying on one of the key assumptions of linear regression. Minor deviations are common and acceptable, but larger or systematic deviation could suggest potential issues with normality.
Alright, so the last part in this slide is a conclusion of it. Our theory is a plan of blind behavior about the halal food. This study highlights that the consumer perception, so our IV and the communication on the strategies are significant determinants of the satisfaction with the halal food. While the convenience is less impactful, it still plays a role in shaping consumer experiences. The findings provide valuable insights for the halal food producers and marketers, emphasizing the importance of the quality, certification, clear communication, and labeling. By addressing these factors, brands can increase consumer trust, satisfaction, and loyalty in the halal food sector. Thank you.